A free DVD.
On this
Call
commercial, it's so
800-422-3838. That's 800-422-3838. Employees of J.T. Millberg.
I've done a couple of shows where I go through my quotes and how they relate
Hello,
to
this is
real
Joe
estate.
Cordell of the domestic litigation firm
I'm gonna do
Cordell
that.
and
Do an
Cordell.
update.
Tell me if this describes you. You're a man who's worked hard all your life.
That's right.
You have a
I'm
nice
a
house,
man.
a savings, a good retirement. But now there's just one problem. Your wife says she wants out. She says she wants a divorce. Suddenly, everything you've worked so hard for, it's all on the table. Your house, your pension, and most important, your kids. She says she feels terrible about the way things have turned out. She says she wants to be fair. Trust her, she says. May I suggest to you an alternative? Consider trusting instead the law firm Cordell and Cordell. Remember this, you're facing one of the most pivotal, critical times in your life. I know, I've been there. It's at times like these that you need a partner you can count on.
Contact Cordell and Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Houston
We are live. I was going to say something. That's why I'm just laughing.
844-0000. Online
I
at
can read your mind.
CordellCordell.com.
I didn't say nothing.
That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Houston, the Woodlands, St. Louis, and by appointment only in League City.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff,
But it
management,
should.
or ownership
We know it
of
should.
this station.
Yep.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry and Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Welcome to the show.
You're going to love this. Depending on how hot this networking event is, I brought shorts and a T-shirt.
Get ready. The guys that will put your fears
for
behind
tonight?
you are on the
Tonight.
air now.
I get stuck outside. So you wear the suit.
Let's reel it in, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right, hot mics in 5, 4,
Here's
3,
Tom and Jason.
2, 1.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jason Bible and Tom Perry in studio. So today we're going to talk about two things: the cost of inaction and trying to be something you're not.
Yeah,
Tom
be
had
yourself.
Tom had a really unique experience last week that was hilarious. So I don't know if we'll get into all of that, but I want to start the show with a quote. I listened to a guy on YouTube, and the best way to explain him is a militant vegan. And he's a real character, but he comes up with some really great quotes from time to time. And this is one of my favorites, actually on my Facebook page. So many people have goals for today, and they died last night.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
That's such a bummer. So many people have goals for today, and they died last night. Let me give you guys the phone number for the show, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. We're also on Facebook. We're going to talk about inaction today. So many people have goals for today, and they died last night. Tom, I'm not going to be able to make the weekend retreat because my daughter's got a softball tournament.
Yeah, it sounds like a great plan.
I mean, she's only got 20 of those a year.
Well, here's what you recognize is that most people are where they are in life because of decisions that they've made along the way. And most people don't realize that it's the small decisions we make on a daily basis that make up the difference in the life that we want versus the life that we have. And, it's people oftentimes have an easy time weighing the cost of doing something, but they also have a very difficult time of weighing the cost of not doing something. Mm-hmm. I discovered this when I've been involved in a nutrition business for a long time, and people used to ask me, "Hey, Tom, how much is it for those vitamins that you take?" And I go, "You mean if you take them or you don't?" Mm-hmm. And people are like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, there's a cost for taking them."
No, it doesn't cost me anything if I don't take them.
Yeah. You save the money for the vitamins, but instead you have heart disease, cancer, diabetes. I can't say that these vitamins cure all of those things because can't make any kind of medical claims or anything like that. Full disclaimer. You can't say that vitamins are good for you because the medical community will tell you that, you get all that you need nutrition-wise out of the food that you eat. And it's like, they don't even ask, what are you eating on a daily basis? Yeah, I'm eating McDonald's cheeseburgers 5 days a week.
Yeah, not going to work.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead or Super Size Me.
Yeah, Super Size Me is a good one because he just looks awful by about halfway through the movie.
Yeah, ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you saw what it did to him.
Yeah.
I mean, so you don't get all the nutrition you need from the food that you eat. But people don't weigh the cost. It's a small thing to eat right, eat healthy, on a daily basis. Because it's like, yeah, if I skip a day, no big deal. You're not necessarily going to feel the effects. Although, once you start eating clean over a period of time, like you shared an experience yesterday, you hadn't been on Spark in a while.
Yeah.
And it lit you up because
Yeah.
your system had been Spark-free for a couple of months. And you're like, hey, I can't do that anymore. But I had a similar experience going in the opposite direction. My daughter, she was in a band competition yesterday, so got a chance to go and join her at Cece's Pizza for lunch, and I don't recommend that because I've been going relatively wheat free for the last, and I've been dairy free for a while. I mean, I don't do a lot of cheese or milk or things like that, and so the combination of wheat and cheese and very poor quality meat on the pizza.
That's a high quality meal there at
Yeah.
CC's.
Yeah, and oh my God, I did not feel good yesterday afternoon. I just felt like, whoa, I was just like had mud in my blood, And so, yeah, there was a guy just recently, and I sometimes people call me direct, and I don't mean anything by it when I'm talking, because I really want to make a difference in other people's lives. I mean, that's really one of the things that I'm committed to is making a difference. And this guy said, "Hey, look, need to know an agenda of what your weekend retreat is." And I'm like, "We're really not that kind of event. We're not the kind of event that it's modular where you show up for this little bitty section and then you skip the next section and you're like, well, I don't really need this, but I do need that." And it's like and I said, look, if we've got 3 students right now, and we've only been teaching a short while. I mean, we were you and I were commenting before the radio show, the fact that there's somebody else that does a quote unquote radio show. It's really a podcast because they're not really on the air, and they're celebrating their 100th show, and we kind of quit keeping track until I did the math. I think this is our 330th show today. So congratulations. Fist bump. Yeah, 330. And but this guy was basically saying, hey, I can't make it because my daughter's got a softball tournament. No, that was actually the guy in Dallas. This guy was actually, because I'm a stickler for details also, kid's first triathlon.
Okay.
And I said, we've got 3 students right now that are on track to have 7-figure years. They've all had net. They've all had $100,000 months. And this is not what we've done. This is what they've done. So they're taking what we've done and created success, and they've added, their flavor to it or adopted our teachings, and it's worked for them as well. So it's repeatable, duplicatable. They put in the work. We gave them the ingredients. We gave them the system. Gave them the process. They put the work to it, right?
And these aren't 2 guys that have been with us for 10 years.
Oh, no.
They've been doing this with us for about 6-8 months now. I'm trying to remember how long.
The longest is 6 or 8 months. We've also got one guy that's been doing it like 3 months.
Yeah.
And so the question is if you knew that you could go to a weekend class and within 6 months be making $100,000 a month, to be on track to make $1 million a year, how soon would you want to show up and take that class? I mean,
Tom, that class is this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I've already got
I'm
something going on
the
this
triathlon, and it costs $300.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I did this on Facebook. I said, our email list is about 67,000 people, and it's growing.
Right.
And we'll have, at our event tomorrow night, we'll have, 100, 125 people there, right? And then the weekend retreat, we'll have, the number keeps growing, but it'll probably be somewhere between 30 and 40 people.
Right.
And out of those, only about 5 or 6 will end up pulling in to our mastermind
because it's
program.
an interview process, so we don't accept everybody.
Exactly. Right. So, because not everybody can make it, and we can identify those people pretty early. So, the fascinating thing is you start with 65,000 and you bring in 5.
Yeah.
Right? And so, you start to realize that the reason that the 0.001% are successful because they really are the only ones that have the aptitude, the time, and the other resources to be able to do it.
And a lot of times it's mindset, right?
It's all mindset.
It's mindset, it's work ethic, it's things like that. And so until you start changing your mindset, you really can't change your future. So yeah, that was an interesting experience just talking to the guy. And actually now I think that he's going to, he basically said, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And it makes sense to not, miss any part of it. So
yeah, it's fascinating to me. I'll tell you the one I love. So we had a little event at the Flying Saucer on Friday.
Yes, I was there.
I posted it on Facebook about 3 days beforehand. Said, hey, this is where we're going to be, 3:00 in the afternoon, and just anybody can come down. We can hang out, right? And there were like 5 or 6 of us, right? Wasn't a whole lot.
But it was Friday afternoon.
It was. I know, and it was 3:00.
Yeah. It wasn't raining.
And it wasn't raining. It was a little warm outside. I was
warm.
hoping the weather was going to be a little nicer. But what was amazing to me is if that were me, I think back 5 years ago when I started in real estate, and the people I was following in real estate who I thought knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
If they had posted on Facebook over 3 days, hey, I'm going to be at this just like get together, just come on down. Heck, I even picked up the tab, right? So
Yeah.
it was like, free whatever, and we'll just hang out for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I would have
2
called
minutes.
in sick. I would have rearranged
Yeah.
my entire schedule
Right.
to show up.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me that only 5 or 6 people show up. And it just reiterates the point that most people are just not ready for success.
But Jason, you don't understand. I live in Pearland.
Yeah,
and
I live in
that was
Pearland.
in Sugarland.
Yeah, all the way. I have to drive all the way down Highway 6.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't. But Jason, I've got your next events, and our next weekend retreat's this weekend, but the one after that's in Dallas. I mean, Dallas, Jason.
I know, right? Can't possibly go to Dallas.
No way.
I remember the first time that I heard about this nutrition company, I said, hey, when's the next time that the founder, and this was all in like a Sunday night that I heard about it. And so Monday morning, I'm asking, hey, when's the next time that the founder's speaking someplace? And they said, well, he's speaking at 7 o'clock in San Antonio on Tuesday night. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was the next day. Of course I had things on my calendar already for that next day. I cleared my schedule. I drove. I left 4 o'clock in the afternoon, actually about 3:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday. Got there at 7 o'clock, listened to him speak from 7 to 10, and then drove home the same night.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Got in like 1 o'clock in the morning and went to work the next day.
Yeah, I don't. The people that are not willing to do that, 100% guaranteed will not be successful in real estate. Seller calls you, hey, I got a really great deal on a house. Wholesaler calls you, real estate agent. Hey, I got a really great deal on a house. I need you to meet in an hour.
Yep,
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just got this job thing, and I can't get out of this or that. I'm
Yeah.
like, this one deal can make you a ridiculous amount of money. Oh, I can't. I can't look at another house. It's like, you don't need to be in business. You've got no business being in real estate. So, all right, folks, we get back from the break. We're going to talk more about the cost of inaction and just being yourself.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
Jason Bible, Tom Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off, guys.
I think one of
If you have cracks in your walls, ceilings, or floors, you may have a foundation leveling problem. Do you have doors that stick or just won't open right? Maybe you have gaps in the bricks of your fireplace. You need Green Tree Foundation Leveling, a fast, high-quality foundation leveling company based here in Houston. They know how hot it gets on the Gulf Coast. High summer temperatures, heavy rainfall, and clay-rich soils are leading causes of foundation cracks. If you have a cracked slab or a shifting foundation, call Green Tree Foundation Leveling at 832-329-1687. How old is your house? Many older homes in our area require foundation repair simply because of our climate and soil conditions. Green Tree Foundation Leveling provides free estimates within 24 hours. They repair concrete slab foundations and pier and beam homes too. The experts at Green Tree Foundation Leveling work fast and offer competitive rates, even a lifetime transferable warranty. Call 832-329-1687 to schedule an appointment with Green Tree Foundation Leveling.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile.
something happened to
Best
the
home purchase
Oh.
ever. Give us a call today
training,
to
so I'll
find
just
out
play
the
with the
simple
buttons.
steps
Okay.
to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage.
Yeah, Tom, that's right.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even
got 90
no
seconds,
income
guys.
documentation
Yeah,
loans
says you.
for both residential
Whatever.
and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our
Thanks for the
team
post,
has over
Valley.
50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100.
Oh,
or
Andy,
visit us on the web,
I drive a Dodge
noblemoney.com,
Stratus, one of my
noblemoney.com.
favorites Saturday Night Live skits.
8203 Willow
I don't think
Place
I've ever seen
Drive,
that.
Houston.
Oh my gosh, it's
77070.
hilarious.
Are you looking for
It's
an investor?
the I drive a Dodge Stratus
for your investment
is whatever
properties?
I think of
Then
when I
call
see the
Fast Track
real
Remodeling
estate
at
gurus posting pictures of their
832-742-9992
Lambos and Ferraris. I'm like, I'm important because I drive a Dodge Stratus, and it's like, I'm important because I drive a Lambo.
Fast
No,
Track
you're an
Remodeling
idiot.
specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years,
Oh,
Fast
Tom, it's
Track
not
has
going to
completed
change.
Over 700 projects.
I can
which has
can
helped us to
blast
create
these
our
people
3
on
keys
on
to
Facebook.
success.
They're still not going to show
Use a
up.
detailed scope of work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today
10 seconds,
at
guys.
832-742-9992.
Although I'll tell you what, since
Again,
Audra's going to be here at the weekend retreat, she's my enabler, to hang out till 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, we'll see how many people last all night.
All right, fellas.
Thanks, Andy.
stand
I'll watch
by.
it on the next break.
All right, guys. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Hey, we are a call-in show. We're talking about real estate, mainly single family. We're not anti-commercial. We're not anti-multifamily. We're anti-timing on commercial and multifamily. We think that we're on the precipice of a crash in commercial. So we think that if you're buying now, you're buying pre-crash, and we think that, but we think the crash may be like 2 years away.
Actually, we're going to go hang out with one of our favorite we get a multifamily deal. That's the guy who we're probably going to do business with, right? One of our favorite guys we're going to have lunch with today. So, and he made most of his money in multifamily.
Right. So and I'm making a distinction between commercial, which I would identify as like retail or office buildings or maybe industrial or things like that, like a true commercial like that, versus the multifamily, which although it is commercial and it's all done on cap rates and all that kind of stuff, that we think that we're probably, I think 2 to 3 years on commercial for it crashing, 2 years for the early side, 3 years for sure. And then I think that multifamily is probably 3 to 4 years away, depending on how quickly interest rates rise and all that. Depends on if Trump gets impeached or not.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right.
I'm so thinking about starting a show, like a once-a-week show on politics, just to show the absurdity of all this stuff.
Yeah,
so,
right.
It is hilarious. They're going to go ahead and set him up for a second term. The media doesn't slow it down. He'll be a 2-termer. Anyways, let's go back to inaction and gurus. I'm getting gurus now that are following me on Facebook.
Yeah, because they got to learn something to teach, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I
went to an event last week, and I won't name names because that would just be unfair, but you know this person.
Yeah.
And they were at our weekend retreat, the last one we did in Houston, sat there with their laptop open, taking copious notes, AKA stealing all of our stuff.
All our stuff. Which is fine. You can take notes during a weekend retreat.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But at least give us credit when you're talking, like when 99% of the words coming out of your pie hole are direct quotes from what we say. Yeah. I mean, at least give us some kudos for it. At least say, I heard Jason and Tom speaking at this event, and this is what they said. But to teach it as if it's your own original thought, it's called plagiarism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's funny is when we have people that go to our weekend retreat or they sign up for a mastermind and then they go to other networking events or other events where someone gets on stage and is touting their education program, I start getting text messages. Hey, has this person ever been to your weekend retreat? Yeah. Because what we teach is really different than what everybody else. It's pretty obvious that it's
we teach that it's a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is how you run the business. A business versus a real estate investment. Those are two totally different things.
That it's not about the transaction. It's about running it as a business and the duplication of that.
So then I start getting text messages, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're totally like ripping y'all stuff off. And I'm like, I thought that would happen as we would get bigger and we move into other markets. I didn't think it would happen this soon.
Right.
It's been kind of fascinating to watch that whole thing.
But because we're constantly doing what we do and teaching and then also doing real estate, that our message is going to continue to evolve over time, because the market will evolve over time, and the way that we do things, because business evolves. I mean, Apple's not doing the same thing today that they did 20 years ago.
No.
And they're not doing the same thing today that they did 10 years ago. And they won't be doing the same thing 5 years from now.
No.
And so they're going to continue to evolve. And, whoever's copying Apple, they're always going to be a step behind.
See, the problem is that when you're copying them, you're already behind.
Yeah, right.
Because you're not developing the new.
Correct.
And I'll tell you the other thing that's fascinating. When you're sitting there listening to some guru and they spout something out that sounds kind of fishy, ask them, how did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, for at least on our marketing side, we would bring on new mastermind students. It doesn't happen as often as it used to, but I remember when we first started teaching folks about a year ago, people would come to me and say, Jason, I just read on this blog that we ought to be doing X, Y, and Z with marketing. And then I would sit down and break down why that's a bad idea.
Right.
And then ultimately, they'd go, oh, okay, I get it. And now I just say, how many houses has that guy that writes that free blog bought? Oh, they don't do 100 houses a year, do they? No.
No, because they're too busy writing blogs.
That's right. So,
remember the guy that had 27,000 blog posts?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how do you have the time? If you're out buying houses, how do you have the time for 27,000 blog posts?
Not buying houses.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating when you read a lot of this stuff online. I can't remember who I was talking to. One of the there's two really great attorneys that I follow on Facebook, and I think they were talking about free legal advice that you read online. And I'm like, look, do not believe any of that nonsense.
Right.
It's like pay for good coaching. People who are of value, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
Like if you've got time to write blog posts all day, if you've got time to run a website and do podcasts, and they're like, I get all this stuff.
But Jason, I can learn all this stuff for free on the internet.
You can't. You can't even learn the stuff that we're teaching from other people. I mean, no one's teaching this stuff. And if
there used to be a guru, quote unquote, used to wear a Hawaiian shirt. I mean, he's deceased now. Mm-hmm. And, I honestly, every time I met him, what I was told about him is that he owned several multifamily properties. He owned quite a few single-family houses. I mean, I thought this guy was very successful financially. Come to find out, after he passed away, he was renting he was renting a room from somebody else in a house. That's the only thing he could afford to live in, and he was several months behind on his rent. He should have filed bankruptcy many, many, many times, and he's teaching people how to be successful in real estate when he himself is way beyond the 8 ball.
Yeah. It's amazing too when you get around guys and gals in this business that are running real estate businesses and doing real estate education. One of our favorite guys, Scott Carson, he and I were chatting one day, and we were sharing information back and forth, and it was amazing to me how many people really don't do this business.
Right.
It's mind-boggling to me. Hey, did you hear this happen? And then
somebody that comes to town on a regular basis here. In fact, they travel the Texas circuit, as I call it: Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and one of the main strategies they talk about, and they're freaking out about. Oh my God, what if the state legislature takes away subject twos? That's the only way that you can buy no money. Subject twos are going to go away. It's like, I think we've done 2 or 3. It's not a significant part of our business.
It was so funny. I was chatting with some folks while we were doing our little happy hour thing, and they said, hey, Jason, are you worried about the changes in the Texas legislature about subject to? And I said, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just one way to buy a house.
Hey, you know what? The market's going to change over time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's the market's going to change, and you just have to learn to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
But how many people? So we're going to be at an event tonight. There'll be somewhere between 800 and 1,000 people at this event tonight, and I'm going to have this conversation at least 100 times. And that is, hey, when was the last time you bought a house? Oh, I haven't bought a house since 2012. Well, why? Because the market changed. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, I can't buy houses anymore because the market changed. No, your marketing and sales skill set are so poor you can't adapt to a new market.
Oh, yeah, but now you're telling the truth.
Yeah, and that's
sometimes that hurts.
And
now I've got to look in the mirror, and I can't blame an external
that's right.
force.
And I don't even need to have one beer to tell them that. Right. I mean, that just comes right out of the gate, and they go,
"Oh, no, we're being honest."
Yeah, and then of course this is the typical person that you and I run into that then goes home that night and is angry at us for like 2 months.
Yeah, and then they come back to us later and they go, "You know
what? That was really good advice.
Thanks
I
for
hated
being
you
honest.
for it,
Yeah.
but now I get it, and I'm making offers. I'm doing this. I'll come out to your weekend retreat, that sort of thing. So it's always fun to. Well, that's why you are not.
It's like that coach that says, "Wake up, pull your head out of your."
Yeah.
You thought I was going to say it, didn't you, Nikki?
Yeah, I did.
I got the dump button ready.
Yeah, she's got the dump button ready. But it's kind of like I got in this big Facebook argument last week over margin compression. And I had some pretty big real estate investors come after me and say, well, no, you don't understand. Jason, you don't understand. You can't make those kind of margins in my market. I'm like, you know what? You can't make those kind of margins in your market because your sales and skill set is so poor. You don't understand. I've been doing this 15 years. And I said, no, you don't understand. I don't care how long you've been doing it. Your value, let's look at Apple. Apple brings tremendous value to marketplace.
Yeah.
What are they worth? A whole lot more than Dell.
Yeah, right. A lot.
Dell doesn't bring as much value.
Well, we don't
to
really
the
know what Dell's
marketplace.
worth anymore because he went private, right? He bought the whole thing back.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I can tell you that Apple is worth more than Dell, right? We know that.
We know that for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the reality is well, look at all the cash. I think they have $250 billion
Offshore.
in cash.
Yeah.
Right. Mostly offshore. Mm-hmm. So we know who's worth more, and it's because Apple has outside. Actually, you know what's fascinating is let's look at the retail space. Apple sets their business up in what? Malls.
Right.
Well, malls are falling apart.
Right.
Are there any Apple stores closing?
Mm-mm.
No.
Haven't seen one.
Actually, when I was in Seattle, I was in what the equivalent of their Galleria area is in Seattle. And that's the biggest Apple store I've ever been in. It was gigantic.
Yeah.
And they were running credit cards just as fast as they could to sell products. So I don't buy the fact that, quote, your market is competitive or, quote, your market is small that you can't buy houses. We've got, a guy, and I'm so proud of what he's doing too. He bought a couple of houses when he started with us a few short months ago, and he's in a really small market just south of Houston, actually in Corpus.
Yeah.
MSA is about 250,000 people. He contracted 4 houses last week.
Last week.
Yeah,
and then he goes, hey, my goal for the year was 4 houses. I think I need to up my goal.
Yeah, we're going to have to up your goal, bro.
Yeah, because he did 4 in a week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, his marketing, the way he and I have been working together and building his marketing program is different than what our company does. It's different than what actually each one of our students in our mastermind group, our clients in our mastermind group, each one of their marketing programs are different. Their sales processes are a little bit different because each one of their businesses is different. If you think you're going to come to the weekend retreat and we're going to hand you business in a box, here's a 3-ring binder 4 inches thick, go run it. That's not how this thing works.
Yeah, you don't get an agenda and you don't get a 3-ring binder.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Well, and I think the other thing too is you can't piecemeal what we teach because a lot of what people understand how to run a business is incorrect.
Correct.
And don't get me wrong, we've been there.
Yeah, right, of course.
Like I've been coached by a lot of people.
Right.
And I can tell you what they teach. Some of the things they teach are really close.
Yeah.
Like you and I were watching some videos yesterday, and I'm like, he's so close.
Yeah, he is.
Right? What he's teaching is so close, but it's still...
But it's not going to work.
But it's still not going to work.
Right.
And
it's... And he's not doing it often enough himself to even fix it himself.
That's right.
So what he's teaching is what he did in the past, which may have worked short term, but I think he got into the education side so fast that he was never really successful in a big way, or maybe it was unique to that market at the time. He's not done a deal himself without students in a really, really long time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one thing in vetting a guru. Are you bringing your own deals, or is a student bringing you deals?
Yeah.
Right. I see that all the time when they're like, "Oh yeah, I do 6 deals a month." Well, how do you source your deals? Well, I partner with my student. I'm like, oh, well, somebody else is doing all the hard work, right?
Hey, don't forget, people can call in 713-785-1817 if you want to ask about finding deals, funding deals, marketing deals, if you want to talk about the sales process, if you want to talk about the rehab process, any of that. And then we'll get to some Facebook comments. So, that's what we're going to talk about on the other side. Stay with us.
Mic's off, guys.
Yeah, Jacob Booz, 27,000 blog posts. That's a job. That's true. I met this
Did
guru
you know
I was
that
being
there are
mentored
over
by who had to
$24
borrow money
trillion
from a private
in
lender to
retirement
pay off.
accounts in the
Oh
US?
shit!
Imagine
As
if
soon
you
as I
could
found
use
that out, I
someone's
walked away
IRA
fast.
to fund
Yeah.
all of your deals.
Oops.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events,
I have to
weekly
say, it still
educational
sounds
classes,
strange to me
and
when
free
people say,
consultations
"Hey, I
with
watch
an
your
IRA
radio show
specialist.
every day."
For more information,
Yeah.
visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs to tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts
me
in the
see.
U.S.
This is
Call
really
Quest
not
IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We are your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We are located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years. We offer a wide variety of signage products, including Bandit, aluminum, and ADA compliant signs to 3D letters. Need something printed? We can get that done too. From outdoor banners to business cards and anything in between. Take advantage of our laser engraving services. We can custom engrave on many products available through our catalogs or your own personal items. From large
Oh,
orders
it's Will
to small,
Ferrell.
we can accommodate your specific
Yeah,
needs.
it's awesome.
We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next
2 minutes,
Gen
guys.
Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you an active real estate investor? If so, a real estate attorney is a crucial member to add to your team. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. Ehlert Law serves clients in real estate and business law with principal offices in Houston and their acquisitions and dispositions. We are equipped to serve you in your residential and commercial real estate law needs. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. We draft and review docs and structured transactions and represent you in disputes and litigation. Or choose one of our transaction packages to
1
cover
minute,
your
guys.
sub-2, wholesale, wraps, or private financing deals. Our business and commercial services include business contracts, entity formations, and business consultations. If you need a reliable, dedicated firm to serve on your team, contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. 346-231-1120. Paid for by Gerald Ehlert, Principal Offices in Houston, not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
Investor Loan Source is Houston's premier investor loan company. Our products and approval process are unique in the Houston marketplace. First of all, we loan based on the asset alone. That means no credit minimums, no income requirements, and no reserve minimums. Second, we have short-term loans for fix and flips and several long-term options for rental properties. Since we're asset-based lenders, everyone is approved. Check
Hello?
out Investor Loan
Yes.
Source at ils.cash.
we're
That's
coming back right now.
ils.cash.
This is Business
All right,
1110.
gentlemen, stand by. Hot mics. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. We're beating up on those poor real estate gurus.
Well, only the ones that don't actually do real estate. Because what they're teaching doesn't work because it's not working for them. And so, yeah, here's
I
what
love this
we're
comment
banging on is bad teachers,
Yeah.
really.
Or bad doers.
Yeah, right.
I love this quote here, Nelson here on our Facebook page. I met this guru I was being mentored by who had to borrow money from a private lender to pay office rent. As soon as I found that out, I walked away fast. You'd be amazed what goes on in this business. Kind of crazy.
And Jose
Really is.
asked a question. Did you attend Fortune Builders when you got started? And
no, not when we got started.
We've done about 100 houses already.
I think we were at 50 when we had joined Fortune Builders.
And at the time, we were going to every single person out there because our idea was if we could pick up one good idea that could help us make, we knew we were going to get to 100 houses a year, and we felt like, hey, if we could pick up one idea that would make us an extra $500 per house, do 500 times 100, and that's a pretty big number.
Yeah, it's 50,000.
Right, and so we felt like, hey, if we spent $15,000 to make 50, we'd do that in a heartbeat. So we went to all the gurus, and most of them have one or two good ideas, but they're not really teaching you the systems and process of building a business. It's like what they're trying to teach you is how to bake a cake. And baking a cake is completely different than building a cake baking business. And if you look at most of the Fortune Builder gurus, the mentors, if you will, a lot of them have been to our class because what they do is, and we hear it over and over and over again, they get to 10 or 12 houses a year, and they kind of plateau. I mean, they can't go from 12 because what gets you to 10 or 12 houses a year is not what gets you to 25. And what gets you to 25 is not what gets you to 50. And what gets you to 50 is not what gets you to 100.
Well, one of the things you'll find, actually most real estate coaches nationally, it doesn't matter what group they're involved in, they get stuck at somewhere between 15 and 20 houses.
Right.
And what most people don't realize, and this is why, and I talk about this during the weekend retreat. Typically, it's a husband-wife team. That's usually the most I see. Or it's like two buddies from college, that
Correct.
sort of thing.
Right.
And they do a couple of deals a month where one person's going out negotiating the sale, managing the rehab, someone's doing the books and the marketing and raising money and doing the transaction coordinator. There's two people, and they're doing all these different jobs. And the problem is there's not enough margin in these deals to hire people.
Correct.
And the other thing they don't realize is every time your business doubles in size, you have to completely redo all of your systems.
Right.
Like you can't use the same processes when it was just you and your spouse, when it's you and your spouse and 3 other people. And so a lot of times that gets lost. And don't get me wrong, if you want to learn how to buy, 10 or 12 houses from somebody who buys 10 or 12 houses, can they teach that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, right? But if you're trying to scale up bigger than that, there's very few people that run 100-house businesses. And one of the reasons we joined that group is their networking group is so large. It's national. So we joined them to find other people that were doing as much volume as we are. And I'll tell you, there's not a whole lot of people nationally. Now, there are a lot of wholesalers nationally that do more deals than we do. I think Mark Evans is one.
Yeah, sure.
There's a couple guys out of Florida that are doing hundreds of deals a year.
Sure.
But they're wholesaling them, which I can tell you, wholesaling 100 deals a year and flipping 100 deals a year are like night and day. Those are two totally different businesses.
Correct.
And I can tell you, wholesaling 100 houses a year, that's nothing compared to flipping them. I mean, there's so many more moving parts. Actually, just cash flow management alone on flipping 100 houses that's big boy territory.
Yeah, that's a class in itself.
Yeah, I could do a whole weekend retreat just on cash management for doing 100 houses a year that you're flipping. So a lot of these groups, what you'll find is they'll have different pieces that are really great. And that's fine and all, but what we find is that, and a lot of them teach the transaction, right?
Right.
They teach you how to build a car before Henry Ford came along and invented the assembly line, or actually developed the assembly line for the automotive industry.
It teaches you how to make a custom-built car.
That's right. Every house is a custom-built car, right?
Right. And the problem is that that's not scalable. It's not duplicatable. You've got to be involved in every single moving part. I mean, when you're running a business versus you're running a real estate transaction, they're totally, totally different. I mean, if stop and think of, the CEO of GE had to understand all the different moving parts of everything that all the businesses among GE does. And so it's not about learning all those systems and processes from the get-go. It's understanding the mindset of that it's a different way of looking at your real estate business. It's from time to time at our free events, I talk about the idea of baking a cake versus building a cake baking business. And, if I taught you how to bake a cake or you taught me, it's like, how many eggs go in that mix? Well, maybe there's 3 eggs. How much did the eggs cost? I don't really care. how much time did it take to mix all those ingredients together? It really doesn't matter. But if you're trying to scale that, those things matter. It matters if you take 22 minutes to mix all those things or if you take 6 minutes. You know, there's a difference between the way that Domino's makes a pizza and the way that, you know, a mom and pop, you know, there's a pizza place right down, there's like an Italian food restaurant that makes pizza, right? And I think it's a Rizzo's or Russo's or I think it's Russo's. You know, Russo's makes pizzas different than Domino's.
Right.
Because, you know, Domino's at the scale that they pump pizzas out, they can't take 18 minutes to make a pizza. I mean, it's an assembly line process. Have you ever seen it? Now, is it the same quality, all that? No, but they've got a business of making pizzas that they understand. Same thing with McDonald's, you know. I know that there's a really good burger place. It's right underneath the Beltway. Oh, no, not the Beltway, the West Park Toll Road.
Yeah. Buffalo's Burgers right there.
Buffalo
Awesome.
Burgers, yeah. Bison Burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the way he makes a burger is complete, or Rosnowski's. I mean, if you ever had a Rosnowski's burger, but, you know, they can't take the same amount of time that a McDonald's does because it's just McDonald's has got a system. And so that's the thing is I feel like that so many people are out there teaching just that, you know, one at a time transaction process, and they don't teach how to do it as a business. And so when people look at, man, I'm working all the time and I'm not making the kind of money that I'm looking at making, you know, they get frustrated with that stuck place. And that's normally when they end up at our place. And
I always call it kind of the lost puppy syndrome.
Well, here's the other thing that I want to add is that, we've been to the Ron LeGrands and we've been to Fortune Builders, and, you know, you even went through Prosperity Group and, you know, some of the others. We've been
Lifestyles,
through,
and I mean, you start naming
and Sukasa and on, and some of those are way worse than others.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny now when a lot of those people go, oh, yeah, he's a student of mine. And like, yeah, we didn't learn how to do what we do from your class, like at all. In fact, we learned what not to do.
I'll tell you where we learned a lot of this stuff is I was sitting there one day and I'm like, why am I not running this like a business? Like I've got a background in business. I've worked in large. Why are we not managing this by the numbers? And that's when I go, that's one of the things that we've been talking about lately is the art and science of real estate as a business. I'll give you a great example. So I tell landlords, when a landlord comes to me, single family landlord says, I'm a real estate investor. And I said, you're absolutely right. You're not a business owner. And they get real offended. And I'm like, well, how much cash flow does your business generate? Oh, it generates, let's say, $5,000 a month in cash flow. Great. How many houses do you want to buy a year? I want to buy 12 houses a year, so at least once a month. Okay, so how many houses do you buy in a month? Well, I'm not buying any because it takes me $15,000 to get into a deal. And I said, so you're not really running a business, are you? Because you can't buy 12 houses a year with $5,000 a month in cash flow. You're a real estate investor, not a business owner.
Right.
And they get real offended. I'm like, no, I don't know who told you that.
Yeah, right.
But I'm telling you that's not correct because your business has to create enough cash flow to acquire your next couple of assets.
Yeah.
And what you were taught is not getting you to that goal.
Correct.
Because you were not taught how to run it like a business. A lot of these education companies out there are great for learning the basics of how to do real estate, right? What's ARV? How do I calculate cash flow? How do I do, it's the simple stuff. But how to put it all together and develop and build a business that continues to operate is not something that a lot of these folks teach. Or if they teach it, it's at an extremely high level that it's difficult for you to walk in the door and say, all right, how do I build this from a business day one?
Right.
Not just go flip a house. So many people sign up for most of the people that are in our mastermind group have gone out and flipped a couple houses, lost money on some, made money on others. They've signed up for all the real estate coaching out there. Like they're members of everything, just like we were. And they're like, and the reason they're not successful is they get it, right? They're like, some of this works because I've made money. Some of it doesn't work because I've lost money. But nobody has the put it all together.
Right.
I mean, one of the guys in our group, I think Jacob had put it best when he says, look, most of these real estate education companies, they give you all the ingredients, but they don't tell you the recipe. They don't give you the instructions. They don't give you how it all comes together. I had one of our mastermind students said, a lot of these education companies, it's like going to undergrad for engineering.
Right.
You get all the basics to know engineering stuff, but they don't have the real world application. He said it's almost like when working with you guys, it's like an apprenticeship.
Right.
Right? Like this is how it really applies in the real world. A lot of great education out there. But when the rubber meets the road, who's going to show me how this really applies in the real world of real estate as a business? And I think that's what's so confronting. That's what's so shocking about how we teach this. They're like, oh, I heard that in a seminar somewhere or some coaching I signed up with, but I didn't understand how that applies when building this business.
Yeah.
It's the practical application that matters. It's like for those of y'all who are in the medical practice, it's like your residency.
Right.
You were in med school, but your eyes got real wide open when you were doing that first year of your residency. It's the same thing. It's that first year when you're out of school and you're in your professional practice and you're like, holy cow,
Which you can only learn from people that are doing it.
That's right.
You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
Mike's off, guys.
All right.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We are your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We're located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years. From large orders to small, we can accommodate your specific needs. We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save
What is
time
that?
and money. Benchmark has been in business for
Oh,
over 2 years, and we
I was
insure
like, it was
30,000
coming through the audio here, and I'm like,
Benchmark about our exclusive investor package.
Oh,
Call
it's-
us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281.
that's not Saturday Night Live. That's something else. That's not the.
569-4353.
That's some silly
Or
YouTube
online
nonsense
at
there.
benchmarkbroker.com.
All right.
That's benchmarkbroker.com.
Where are my zip codes at?
That's
Where are my zips at?
569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or
90
sheetrock that's coming
seconds.
apart? Then you may have foundation movement.
can't prove that.
Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of
Whatever.
if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check.
I wonder
for a
if our
truly
stakes are done.
independent, Unbiased foundation.
Brandon's doing
evaluation.
some stakes for us.
Foundation
Oh, is
Check
he?
has
Yeah.
been in
Nice.
business since 2009.
You know, he's doing that
and
meat-
has
he does that
completed
meat
over
drying thing? Yeah.
1,400
I'm gonna ask him about it
evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house
What?
flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is
Sure,
reviewed
yeah.
by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Investor Loan Source is Houston's premier investor loan company. Our products and approval process are unique in the Houston marketplace. First of all, we loan based on the asset alone. That means no credit minimums, no income requirements, and no reserve minimums. Second,
All
We
right,
have
15
short-term
seconds.
loans for fix and flips and several long-term options for rental properties. Since we're asset-based lenders, everyone is approved. Check out Investor Loan Source at ils.cash. That's ils.cash.
This is Business 1110.
I'm sorry.
All right, settle down, fellas. All right, guys. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Look, if you want to learn how to do real estate, run real estate as a business, come on out to the weekend retreat. It's going to be this weekend. If you go to rightpathrealestate.com, click on our calendar of events.
Well, they can
You sign
actually,
up
before
there.
that, they can actually come to our free event on Thursday.
Yeah, they can come out to the free event, come meet us at the free event.
And probably the best way to find out about all the events we have coming up, go to our rightpathrealestate.com website, because all of our events are right there, rightpathrealestate.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there. Come see us.
Now, I also want to, before we end this show, I got to tell about an experience last week. And it's a lesson in don't embellish what your accomplishments are if you're not,
because we may know the other party.
Right. So, I've been called a serial entrepreneur before. You've started a few businesses. Had this guy said basically he had been involved in like over 1,000 businesses, and that's
a lot of businesses.
It sounded like so overwhelmingly large that it sounded unbelievable. And so, turns out, this guy's not really been directly involved. I think he's collected over 1,000 business cards. And
watched 1,000 business commercials.
Yeah, exactly. And so anyhow, I basically asked, hey, what did you mean? Because you ever have people that they make these assertions and then they're saying a lot of words, but you really, it's tough to, it's almost like you're kind of can't get your hands around what it is they're actually saying.
I'm real hard of hearing in some of those networking events to get loud. I just assume I didn't hear them correctly. I'm like, surely that's not true.
Right.
And then just go on to the next topic. So.
Yeah. So bottom line is this: be comfortable with who you are on the way to being who you want to be. That's basically the takeaway. Because this guy basically, I asked him, he said, well, I've helped a lot of inventors and blah, 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 blah. And he said, what's the most successful product that I may have heard of that you were involved in helping? And he named this particular product. And I go, oh, yeah, who invented that? And he goes, well, it was so long ago, I can't really remember. And all the details got really, really fuzzy at that point. It turns out I actually went to high school with the son of the guy that invented the thing he's talking about. And it was, it kind of exposed that he was either completely embellishing the story, and it also, based on his age and all that, he would have been like a senior in high school, maybe a freshman in college, about the time that thing was invented. And Elijah's obviously not listening to our radio show because he's calling us right now. So, anyhow, the lesson of that is just be who you are, be comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's okay to just say, hey, you know what? I'm in process. These are the things that I've done, and these are the things that I want to do in the future. And it's great to speak into existence those kind of things, but be comfortable in your own skin is basically the lesson.
I'm just a real estate investor. I'm starting out, or I've got 5 or 6 rental properties. I'm looking to grow my business. There's no reason to be to embellish.
I was very quick to say when I started out Fast Track, hey, I don't know a whole lot about construction, but I have got guys that do. And so it's not me that's going to be hammering and nailing and all that kind of stuff, however that works.
30 seconds, guys.
But I can put together the pieces that it takes to do that properly.
Yeah, absolutely. So weekend retreat this weekend, free event.
20 seconds.
Thursday night. I'm going to talk about money, where to find money for your real estate deals. Of course, there's also networking, and all of our great radio show sponsors and vendors will be there.
10 seconds.
If you want to build your team, this is the place to be. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. It's been Jason Bible, Tom Perry. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Right Path